Right, I was going to do a video tonight about, someone asked about, wanting me to do one about the armed robberies I got nicked for. You know, how I got nicked and did I spend the money, how I got nicked and all that, yeah. Well, I'm going to do that, but I'm not going to lie. I'm in a hotel room now. I've been driving. Well, I haven't been driving, I've been a passenger, but mate, been driving since yesterday. From one end of the country to the other, we're only halfway. I'm knackered, so I'll do. Someone else asked me a question the other day about infamous people that's that's been banged up that I've been banged up with. Yeah, and let me just say the arm robbery one. That's going to be a long video. Yeah, so I'm going to do that tomorrow. Yeah, when I'm a bit more with it. Um, yeah, right. So infamous people. I mean, but infamous to who? I'm presuming people are talking about people that you've heard of in the paper or the newspaper. Um, I mean, there's people like that. I mean, there's more infamous people, more people with bigger names that you've never heard of. You know, if you're just say for instance, you end up in Pentonville. There's going to be people for Tottenham, Islington, Canning Town that are all notorious and well known, but you've never heard of them. People on the street have, if you know what I mean. They're going to be dangerous. They're going to have reputations. They're going to have done this. They're going to have done that. But you ain't never going to heard of them, are you? Because you only hear about them when they get caught and they've done something big, like a murder or armed robbery. Then you hear about them. But yeah, I mean, I've been banged up with loads of notorious people like that, and there's no point in like me reading off their names because you wouldn't have heard of them. You wouldn't have heard of them. I've only heard of them because I ended up in places like that, you know. So that's, but I can say one person that was in Pentonville. Oh, his name, I should have looked it up before I did this. Stephen Porter was a serial killer. Um, he was meeting men on grindr, taking them back to his flat, doing whatever, and then killing them. This is all he's doing. He's in jail now. He's all in the papers, the newspapers, and things like that. They called him the grinder killer or something. Uh, he got caught. He was literally just dragging them out of his flat and just dumping them like down the street or on the steps of his flat. It's like taking no effort to get rid of them. Literally taking them from his flat and just dumping them. So he got caught. He just had bodies just building up around his flat entrance. Um, yeah, but he was. But I think he was embarking. That's what he was doing. It was barking. And when he got nicked, obviously, like he's gonna go to like a big court, isn't he? But for his first court, he went to one of them local courts, and he ended up in Pentonville for. I can't remember. I can't remember how long he was there for. But Pentonville's not a Cat A jail. It's a B Cat local, yeah. And there is B Cat locals like that are A Cats, sort of like Belmarsh and things like that. But it's not. Pentonville's not set up for A Cats, like A Cat prisoners. So he stayed on the induction wing, and ACAT, you're in a blue and yellow striped suit, jumpsuit, they call it an E-man suit, an escape risk suit. Yeah, Ks or escape risk, you have to wear them, yeah. Um, yeah, he was up on the there was 5 landings in the induction room in Pentonville. He was up on the 5s. He was never allowed out. Never allowed out until like on association with other prisoners. Never allowed to talk to other prisoners. He used to get let out for a phone call in the shower. It was like being down the block from really. I mean, there was no difference on the induction ring or down the block. There was no difference. I mean, that's how he got treated if he was down the block. Yeah, so I mean, maybe he had a bit of soch. Maybe they let him out. Well, soch. I mean, what's he going to do? Play pool on his own? Well, you could do, couldn't you? But I say soch. I mean, they let him out for a shower and a phone call. Then he got banged up again. I mean, like I said, Pentonville's not set up to accommodate those sort of prisoners. So he was there for a few weeks while he got transferred to another court. Then he was gone. So that would be the most notorious person you've heard, like most people would have heard of. He was a serial killer, and he was in Pentonville same time as me. Yeah, and I mean, there's people in every jail I've been in that are more dangerous than him. I mean, serial killers tend to just kill people that are weaker than them, don't they? There's much more notorious, dangerous geezers, and I'm saying dangerous to other 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 men. You know what I mean? He was dangerous to other men actually. Uh, but you know what I mean. But you wouldn't have heard of them. And yeah, I don't think it'd be right to start reading off their names anyway. But I'll say his name. He's a serial killer. He got caught. He was in the paper. So yeah, Stephen Porter, I think his name was. He would be the most notorious one that you'd have all heard of. If you enjoyed that, hit subscribe and we'll chat tomorrow. Adios.